we are just going to hit the go button on this. Mango tea's not bad. I like their fruit punch the best. Oh. So this, because I forget, like, it's here and it's being useful and it's fucking vital to the desk. And I'm like, do I have to review next? Oh, shit. Topping D10s. So, I have a very specific need for the topping D10 and therefore the topping D10s. If you watched my, like, systems tour video, you know that up in my office, temporary office is there, up there. Laptop, I'm using a laptop just to like get shit done. And I want to plug audio device in it, but the one I want to plug in has wait, what am I doing? I'm using it as a DAC, but I also need fiber optic out so I could run it to the extension to the Bluetooth sender. So it's complicated. The point is, I have a very specific love of the topping D10. 10, the original 10. It sounded good enough at the DAC, and it performed a very specific task that not many units do. Whereas it is a USB device, only USB in, and then has RCA out and fiber optic out and coaxial digital out. When we went to RMAF, our room at RMAF, if you went to RMAF, if you visited our room at RMAF, you went to the Hi-Fi Guys room, don't forget to check out hifiguys.com, room at RMAF, that whole room, including the headphone desk, the near-field listening setup room, and the main lobby with fucking thousands of dollars of speakers, was running through a topping D10. We had a laptop, we had a topping D10, USB to that, and then this, well, not this one, but the original topping D10 was taking the USB, converting it to fiber optic, and the fiber optic went out and got split, and all the other DACs in the world connected to it, and it all worked. That's why I love that. We had two of them, actually. The first one failed, honestly. But that's what its job was, to take a laptop that has no fiber optic and convert USB to fiber optic and then give us the display of what the sample rate is. Boom. It will actually, if I play music, the display will get brighter if it changes. So let's put in some 24-bit. Oh, I did it. 96 PCM. I can barely make out. I think it says DSD in there. It says DSD there. 32-bit 384 USB DAC D10s. The benefit, obviously you all know I'm a sucker for fiber optic. I just fuck drivers. Hashtag fuck drivers. And in this particular case, this USB is plugged into this laptop, and this is my review laptop. It always has been. Used to sit on the shelf in the old review space above the MH8. Like, it used to sit there, and the 3 anime girls were on top of it. You didn't know it was a laptop, but there it is. And in that space, that was hooked up to the Mica Origin G2, which performs this task, which performs the USB in, fiber optic out. And that performed an extra little duty where it was also a volume controlling headphone out, which controlled the VU meters and the leveling of the VU meters. But here on this desk, it makes way more fucking sense to use that so I could actually see a visual of it, although it's missing VUs. So right now, when I was doing all the testing so far, I've explained this before, laptop, monitor, laptop USB D10s, conversion to fiber optic, which runs all the way over there to the speaker test area where, you know, because I need to have like all my music and I don't have enough plugs and I don't have enough laptops. I run a laptop. So fiber optic, longest fiber optic cable over there to run that. Coaxial digital output here to the own S8. So that I could run this fucking $800 balance, $900,000 up to the Geshelli Labs Erish, which might as well be $1,000. And then it outputs itself. It's got its own DAC. Then this is the D10s, which has got a much better DAC chip in it than the original D10, because DACs tend to actually have some form of like upgrade. And this is powering this, or feeding a signal into the iCAN, the IFI ZenCAN. God, I can't, the names. So, I mean, really, it's the heart of my fucking system. If I pull this out and unplug it, nothing works. Now, how is it as a Daxios? I think for $100, which is, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. At least it didn't cover lower. I think as a $100 DAC, which is all it is, by the way. Linsol has it for $100 on Amazon. By the way, it says op amp rolling, and I'm not doing that. You probably can. I mean, if you do, if you've ever op amp rolled a D10 or a D10s, please tell me. But there's literally no reason to think about, oh, not getting this and getting the Mahdi instead, or a Sanskrit. Or the only reason you'd even think about the other topping, which is right here, which is the E30, because this is another topping DAC that's roughly the same size. Actually, it's a little bit smaller, a little bit more expensive. But the reason you'd link it, it's very rare that a company comes out with two completely different DACs that are roughly the same price, 130 versus 100. And they have totally different usage cases. You'd get the E30 because you want a pre-out. You want a volume pre-out. Because this takes USB in, optical in, and coaxial in, and gives you RCA out, and then gives you remote control. So that's why you need this. So you got powered monitors. You buy this. You have all the inputs you could ever want. You RCA out. You have a remote. You're done. The topping D10s, you get to, you can do, well, you can't do the remote control. There's no remote. It's just a line out. So this becomes much more raw of a DAC. You just put it down. You throw it down your desk. You plug it in. She lights up. She says 44.1 because we haven't started playing something. Let's play Popular. 96. 96. Can we get something bigger than 96? There's got to be one in here that's bigger than 96. Oh, I feel like I've let you all down now. Nope. See it dim? It dims if the bit rate has, if the rate hasn't changed. If I switch to not 24-bit demos, boom, 44.1. It'll give you a solid RCA out. It'll give you, it's DAC. Its DAC is finally worthwhile. The original D10, I was sort of like, yeah, it does, yeah, it has a DAC, but I'm more interested in this feature where it can convert to fiber optic and coaxial. But now, this revision, the S, I was pretty fucking stunned listening to things out of this, and I've hooked this up to this. I've hooked up to like one or two more. I actually have a second one of these somewhere, and I've used that. And the DAC is like at least on par with everything else in a $100 range. You can't control the volume. It doesn't have volume control. That's what you'd get this for. If you want volume control, you get this. But then again, this is also a little weird because there's no volume control on the unit. You have to use the remote. So there's other DACs. Like the SMSL SU8 or SU9, I have the SU9 back here, that give you like on unit control. Like this is the drop DAC, the IFI, one that matches that. And this is USB in only, and left and right or balanced out, but it gives you a knob for the desk. So really in the types of DACs that I would consider, there's desktop controllable DACs. Then there's like room controllable DACs. So you wouldn't want to put this in a living room and have to get out of your fucking seat to adjust the volume, but that's what this is for. And there's this type of DAC, which is just a straight signal in, signal out. And it's just all signal out, out, out. Everything's out. So you got to really understand, if you get this, you're getting out. You have to have a USB in. There's no like, oh, I want to boost fiber optic like you do, Zeos. Yeah, but you buy this first. This becomes a thing that distributes to everything else. Now, I'm a psychopath, and like when we were at RMAP, that was a very specific, special occasion where we need to have like probably 15 or 17 DACs spread out across 3 rooms, and they all needed to get the same signal source. And we knew if we could see that, we could see what it was processing out, because we had to limit the source of the laptop, because there were some DACs, because when this converts from USB to fiber optic, it sends, if it's 44.1, it sends 44.1. If it's 96, it sends 96. We had a couple songs that were like 176, like weird, and this would light up, and maybe 10 out of the 17 DACs would work. And that is no good. You can have silent DACs. So we had to go and make sure that if we watch this, none of our sources were doing that shit. And we could limit this itself. So the answer is yes. Zeos, should I buy this? Yeah, 100%. There are other DACs that do other purposeful things. DAC on a desk with a volume. Now you can get usually an amp DAC combo. I'm trying to think of an amp DAC combo. I usually just look around and there's something here, but I'm not in my old place, so I don't know what to search for. There are 3 lights, Captain Picard. It's a DAC. It's a DAC that does a very specific thing. In fact, if someone could please link me in the comments another unit that does USB in to fiber optic and coaxial digital out at the same time, please. Because really, those are few and far between. There is a very small unit that I've got. Who makes it? Fuck, is it Knob Sound? I have one. I have one here in black. I don't know where it is, but it's part of the things I need to review. That does this job, only instead of having any DAC output, it just does USB-C in, and I think it has fiber and coaxial out. And it's like $40. So that's another option. Because, and I think Audio Science Review, I don't bring up other forums and things, but if you're going to measure, a DAC is a good way to measure. Don't measure headphones. Headphone measuring is stupid. Even some amplifier measuring is stupid. Because, you know, if everything measured flat, then there'd be no reason to buy anything. Just, it's all the same. But a DAC, knowing that the input USB is pure, and knowing that the conversion to SPDIF is pure is a kind of important thing. And this measures some of the best. Like some things do that conversion and it's like, it's mostly 100%, but it's like 98.99%. And this is more like 100%. Because you're not losing anything in the conversion. Now, I'm done, basically. Some mango tea. Mango tea. You're probably going to see this on my desk. I guess the biggest praise I can give to a product is when I say, hey, I really like this. And there's a really fucking high chance it'll be in every one of my videos. Because it's going to go. I lost the fiber optic. It fell to the ground and it's never coming back. There. It's officially doing its job. I needed a DAC for that. I got the analog outputs for it. I needed a conversion for this. I got it. Otherwise, I could plug this in USB to this. But then if I wanted to plug another thing USB into this, then there's a DAC. Then I have to switch DAC. I don't want to do it. That makes my life a lot easier. I cannot praise something. I can't. Wallpaper. I can't praise anything harder than that. It just makes my life easier. If you're a crazy audiophile, maybe you'll find a use for it like I did. And if you're just somebody looking for a decent $100 DAC, here it is. And if you want to have the Modi or this, I don't think sound quality, although this has op-amp swapping and the shit doesn't. I gotta get my own X out. Those bees. No more bees. Hashtag no more bees. So what I'm saying is, yes, topping D10s. Thank you, Linsel, for sending it. I think Linsel sent it. There's several companies that want to send me things, and I get a little bit confused. But I will link the proper authorities in the description. These videos are going to start coming out, and maybe they might be a little rambling, because I'm losing my mind. Like I just watched D10s. Finished D10s. Finn. It said Finn. And it was a great show. Had no source material. And it honestly it had little tropes. I was kind of like, well, this is how it would end if it was Hollywood, and it ended Hollywood. But it was solid. It was a solid show. I enjoyed watching it. But then I stopped and came down here to make this video because I'm like, you know what? I don't need... What research do I need to do for the fucking D10s? You've been using it for fucking 3 weeks. You have no complaints about it. Just go down there and say that. So here I am. I love the D10s. I have no complaints about it, and I like it in silver. That wallpaper in the description. Patreon and Subscribestar, which are getting this vital information days and sometimes weeks before the public. So they know. They know about this. The $5 tier lets you see every video early. There is a $2 tier on Patreon, not on Subscribestar, because this is a stupid $2 tier, stupid. But the $5 tiers let you see every review early. They let you participate in the yard sale. I actually have a second D10s, and I'm not putting that in the yard sale because it's too fucking useful. I might put my original D10. I might put that in the yard sale. If you don't know, the yard sale is 1st to the 10th of every month. I gather up items. I sell them to people either internationally or in the continent of the United States. And if you're continent of the United States, I ship for free. If you're international, you pay half shipping. You pay half shipping. I pay half shipping. And $5 tier gets you into that. And then $5 tier also allows you to message me on Patreon or Subscribestar. And it might take me a while to get back to you because during the whole move, I wasn't answering questions. So it was like, still 50. Still. I've been here for a month and it's still 50. Every day I sit down and I answer like 2 or 3 or 5. And then my brain melts and then I'm like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. And then like 3 more questions rolled in. So if you want to avoid that whole nonsense, and I apologize to those people, I will get to every question. But if you want to skip the lines, and it's a whole lot easier for me, the $10 tier puts you in the behind the scenes private. Behive it. I literally made up the word behive it for behind the scenes and private. So the behive it Telegram chat with 300 other individuals. And all you have to do is do @ZeosPantera in there, and I will respond to you every day, 10 times a day, with my voice or pictures if necessary. So that's really the place to be. Certainly if you want to avoid the wait. Plus, if I get something special, those are the people who know about it first. If I get new underwear, those are the people who know about it first. But yeah, really, that's the case. I'm done with this video now. It's very nice in my basement. I really like my basement. But I'm going to leave now and go watch ReZero because I got to know what's happening with Best Girl. Do you know who Best Girl is? Say so in the comments. Oh, and Jeff, we're going to check out Hi-Fi Guides in the forums, Best Girl forums.